Hi, I'm Samantha McDouglas from thebridgeteachers.com. Come look over my shoulder at a play problem. You may recognize this hand. We looked at the bidding last week. Our partner was the dealer and passed. Our right-hand opponent also passed. We were the third person and we opened 5 clubs, which should be showing 9 or more clubs and a weak hand. Because we're in the third seat, we have a lot more freedom than we would in any other seat. So our hand chose to bid 5 clubs. West doubled and everyone passed. West is on lead and is going to lead the ace of spades. The first thing that we do on a hand is assess the hand. In a trump suit, we assess the hand by counting losers. How many losers do we have? We have 5. When we look at the diamond suit, we have 1 diamond and we do not have the ace, so that diamond is a loser. When we look at the spade suit, we have 1 spade and we do not have the ace. In fact, we are losing this trick right now, so we have 1 loser. In hearts, because our suit is relatively solid, we are going to count what we are missing. We are missing the king and the jack. After the king and the jack, all of our cards will be good. And of course, in clubs, we are missing the ace. The ace of trump is always going to take a trick. It is important to identify which losers we can have an effect on and which losers we cannot. For instance, the ace of clubs is always going to take a trick. So we aren't going to waste any energy worrying about how to stop the ace of clubs from winning. Similarly, on this hand, we are obviously going to lose the spade because we are doing that right now. So we can't do anything about the ace of clubs or the ace of spades. The losers that we are trying to reduce are the 2 heart losers and the diamond loser. The odds are very good we are not going to be making this hand. But if the opponents are making 4 spades, we will still get a good board as long as we don't go down too many. Now, because we only have 5 losers, if the opponents are making 4 spades, which would be 620 points, we could actually go down 3 and still get a good board. But of course, the fewer we go down, the better our score, so that would be our goal. The first thing I want you looking for on every hand is a discard. Do we have 1 or more potential discards here? Yes. If we can make the 4th heart good and lead the 4th heart, we will be able to discard a loser. Similarly, if we are able to make the king of diamonds good when we don't have any diamonds in our hand and lead the king of diamonds, we will be able to discard a loser. If you didn't see that, don't worry about it. It's much harder to see a potential discard when you have to make the card good. If the card starts off as good, it's much easier to see. In order to get our discard, we are going to have to make those cards good. So let's talk about the diamond suit first. How would we go about making the king of diamonds good? By finessing. We have 2 options here, but they both involve leading from which hand? The south hand. We can lead the 3 of diamonds, forcing West to choose. If West has the ace and doesn't play it, we can play the king and the king will win the trick. Now, if that is how the suit plays, we won't get a discard on the king of diamonds because we will have taken the first diamond trick with the king. But of course, that does mean we will have eliminated our diamond loser. If West has the ace and plays the ace, we can play low and our king will be good, providing a discard for us. Alternatively, if we think that East has the ace, we could lead the 3 of diamonds, and if West plays low, we could play the jack. If West has the queen, East will only be able to win the trick with the ace. When we look at the heart suit, our options are again finesse. If we finesse in hearts, we actually have a guess that is similar to the one that we face in diamonds. We will be leading from the south hand, and if we think that West has the jack, we can lead the 3 and play the 9 or the 10 using the queen to prevent the jack from winning. If we think that West has the king, then we can lead the 3 from our hand, and if West plays low, we can play the queen and win the trick, and if West plays the king, we can play low and our queen becomes good. In both suits, we have a guess. But in both suits, we also have a problem. In order to lead the good card when we are out in the other hand, in other words, to lead the good king of diamonds when we don't have any diamonds in our hand, or to lead the 4th heart when we don't have any hearts in our hand, which hand do we need to be in? The north. When you get a discard, it means that you are leading a good card and not following suit from the other hand. You are discarding. So in both of our suits here, hearts and diamonds, we will have to be leading a good card when we don't have any in our hand, which means we'll have to be starting the trick from the north hand. How are we going to get to the north hand? So if either finesse works, we might be able to get to the north hand using the finesse. But in diamonds, this only works if West has the ace and doesn't play it. If West plays the ace, we won't be able to use our diamond to get to dummy. In hearts, if we guess correctly, we should be able to develop an entry into dummy. But there is another way to get to dummy. What is it? The jack of clubs. If West has the ace of clubs, we can successfully get to dummy using the jack. With all of that in mind, which finesse, the diamonds or the hearts, would you start with? The diamonds. Starting with diamonds gives us the best potential on this hand. If West doesn't take the ace, we've gotten rid of our diamond loser. If they take the ace, we can potentially get to dummy a couple of different ways. If the diamond finesse doesn't work, we can always go back to the heart finesse. When you have a situation like we do in diamonds, the earlier you do it in the hand, the better, because that puts maximum amount of pressure on the opponents when they haven't really had a chance to communicate about anything at all. And in fact, because one of our ways to get to dummy is within the trump suit, I would actually do this before drawing trump. So on this trick, we will follow suit, and we will follow suit from dummy on the second trick, but now we will trump. And at this point, I would immediately play the diamond. This puts the maximum amount of pressure on West to decide what to do. If West plays low, you do have a guess to make. You now have to decide if they've played low holding the ace, in which case you want to play your king, or if they've played low holding the queen, in which case you want to play your jack. But on this hand, West isn't going to play low. Let's go back. On this hand, West is going to play the ace. And now our king is good. Now we need to get to dummy. When declare leads another spade, how are we going to get to dummy? By leading a low club to the jack. So we did talk about the jack of clubs, but we didn't talk about the exact mechanics of it. The opponents can see that there is a transportation problem here. The temptation for you might be to play the king, hoping to lure the opponents into playing the ace. But the problem with this plan is that the opponents can see that we don't have good transportation to dummy. And so the opponents can counter by not playing the ace. And now, our jack of clubs is not an entry. We can't play our king of diamonds, and we have to guess in hearts. If we go back, Leading the king of clubs is hoping that the opponents go wrong. If we just take a finesse, as long as West has the ace of clubs, they can't stop us from using the jack to get to dummy. We don't have to hope that they go wrong because there is no way for them to go right. When we lead a low club, as long as West has the ace, we are in good shape. If they play the ace, we play low, and now we can get there on the next trick with our jack. We aren't worried about what West is going to lead because if they lead hearts, our ace is playing fourth and we will get rid of one of our heart losers. We would love for West to lead a diamond or a spade, which would give us a ruff and a sluff. If instead West plays low, we play the jack, and as long as West has the ace, the jack will win. When West has the ace, there is nothing that they can do to stop us from using the jack as an entry as long as we start with a low card. If we start with the king, all they have to do is play low, and now the second trick, the ace will take the jack. Once we are in dummy, we are going to take our discard, discarding a heart loser and removing the necessity to guess in hearts. We do now have the option of taking the heart finesse from dummy, but in all likelihood we are going to lose that heart trick. We've lost 2 tricks. We're almost certainly going to lose the heart. This will put us down 1 for a very nice score. Let's look at all 4 hands. If we take a moment and look at whether the opponents are making 4 spades, what do you think? In order to make 4 spades, the declarer is going to have to correctly guess what's going on in hearts. When they lead a heart from the west hand, they will have to guess that our partner has the queen and play the jack, instead of guessing that our partner has the ace and play the king. If they guess the hearts correctly and they trump a heart, they will be making 4 spades. What they cannot make is 5 spades. So we have won this hand actually on the auction. As long as we don't go down 4 on this hand, we will get a better score than the opponents making 4 spades. If the opponents bid 5 spades, they will be going down and we will get an even better score. But certainly 5 clubs doubled down 1 is a far better score than 4 spades making 4. On this hand, we had a guess in hearts. If we could have led hearts from dummy, we could have successfully reduced the suit by 1 loser by finessing east for both the jack and the king. But in this case, if we were leading from our hand, which was far more likely since it was very difficult to get to dummy, we would have gone wrong no matter which way we went because east had both cards. Taking the diamond finesse early in the hand gave us the opportunity to discard a heart on the king of diamonds, and we were able to get there with our jack of clubs. If the diamond finesse hadn't worked, if we had gotten it wrong, we would then have to guess the hearts correctly, and on this hand, if we're leading from our hand, that's not possible. We might have been able to play a club up to the jack to lead hearts from dummy, in which case we could now reduce our losers by 1, but there is no way to know where the king and the jack of hearts are. Taking the diamond finesse early on this hand gives you the maximum chance to avoid one of your losers, because if the diamond finesse works, we will hopefully be able to discard a heart on the king of diamonds, and if the diamond finesse doesn't work, we can fall back onto the heart finesse, which would have been our other choice in any case. Giving yourself 2 chances is far better than just 1. If we just take the heart finesse, we're almost certainly going to lose the diamond when we lose the heart, and if we have guessed wrong in hearts, we're going to go down 2 instead of just 1. Thank you. In the deep dark of winter, what better way to spend time with friends and family than playing bridge? Please join our family by liking and subscribing these videos.